So, wrong screen. Let's get this on the right screen, and then we go. Now we can see. Good. Good evening. We have our intrepid heroes on board the Zephyr, a ship that is outside of the city of Eloth. And they're trying to catch a thief who just stole a priceless gem from them and convince the captain to try and approach the harbor in the dark. So, tricky stuff. Where are you all? What are you doing as the as the ship is trying to sneak into the harbor and try to avoid all the sharp reefs?
Gather our stuff in preparation of getting off board as quick as possible. We may have to give chase.
You're hastily gathering your stuff. Okay.
Yep. I asked Mortaz if he can try something to see if, as someone who touched the gem, if he can kind of find out its location, like they seem to be finding it.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna be like, I'm not really sure. Can I just out of whim do that? Or?
Yeah, you can try. Just describe
Sorcery?
what you would do about it. Yeah, just tell us.
And I maybe close my eyes and maybe meditate, see if I can sense it.
What are you reaching out for in your meditation? What is it that goes through your mind?
Maybe the source of the relic. If I can sense where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Like direction.
Like direction. Okay, do me sorcery roll. Why not?
D2 or D1?
Just, yeah. Basically. Ooh.
Oh, nothing.
You feel an absence. That's about it. It's like there used to be a sort of sweet little tone in the back of your mind while this thing was present, and now you actually notice it by its absence. Maybe you're too far away. Maybe you're too distracted.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, sure, yeah, I can't feel any sense.
Yeah, you hear some of the people grumbling, some of the crew who are rowing in the middle of the night, and carefully somebody at the front is with a couple of lanterns in the bowsprit, basically, and constantly shouting back. And as you slowly pull into the harbor, is there anything else you want to do on ship?
Did we speak to his son? We did, didn't we? And he feigned ignorance that he wasn't aware of his father acting like this. We did, didn't we?
You did speak to the sons a little bit.
And did we search the cabin of the merchant?
I don't think you did so far, no.
No, we can though.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's see if he's got anything there.
Okay. What do you propose rolling there?
Some sort of observation check, I'm assuming.
On you go then.
Bear with me. Come on, let's where my skills are. Observation. Give them momentum, so let's roll some dice. There we go.
Okay, yeah, well, you look through this stuff, but basically you find mainly he was sharing a sort of cabin space with his sons, and you find some general stuff you would have with you on a journey, but you don't find anything remarkable at all. Doesn't seem to be any money.
Any journals or
No.
correspondence or something?
Nothing. It looked like either they were prepared to leave and took stuff with them, or they were being very secretive to start off with. You hear a sort of grinding noise as the boat pulls up against the pier, and some shouting from the land side and so on. Conversation. Why do you pull in the middle of the night? We expect you tomorrow morning, etc.
Well, let's get going then.
Let's go. Yep.
I suggest first we head to the gate, to the west gate, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
But
the sun is starting to come up actually now.
Does the captain have not a map, but can he give us an idea of the layout of the town?
He can give you an idea of the rough layout before you put in, but basically, let me tell you something about this town as well, seeing as I have the write-up. It's a shipping city, very much so, and most of the things here are built from wood. Yeah. So there's lots of docks, there's lots of ship maintenance, there's restocking and so on going on. There are taverns, there are inns, but it's not a big settlement. It's basically those craftspeople and the loggers they need to get all the wood that they need, require for this. It's a simple but very active city, if that makes sense. They've got a palisade running around it, not a big gate or not a big wall or anything. But yeah, this is a good place to stop if you like a beer.
The exits are there to the city.
Exits. Are there exits? Yes, there are 3.
Okay.
As he makes it up as he goes along, yeah.
We quickly need to divide and get to the exits to observe to see if someone's fleeing. How do we want to
ask around town if they've seen which direction of which you went?
Well,
And is there a port authority? Is there somebody kind of in charge where everybody kind of funnels through?
there's a harbor master, yes, and he's got some people who were just shouting at us for pulling in the middle of the night.
The problem is a small little rowboat would sneak in and no one would see it. That's the problem.
Maybe.
No, we're in now.
You're in now. Captain Nylos bids you farewell and says, "Oh, you know, on one hand, I'm glad that we got in here without problem, and I'm not actually that glad to see you go. Maybe the strange dreams that our crew was having will subside now that you go off board. No offense."
No, that was the merchant, not us.
We wish you fair weather, and we shall see you possibly again.
Oh, we might see you in Ascalon, but if you change your mind, you want to ride with us to Ascalon, I suppose you paid for the journey.
How long are you here for?
Maybe half a day, maybe less.
All right.
Ideally, 4 or 5 hours.
All right.
Okay.
Just a quick question. Did we pay, though?
I think you paid.
Yeah, we paid.
But how much? Because it was kind of not clear who pays full price, who pays reduced one. And, you know, the group treasury inventory is still full, so actually we didn't pay yet.
No, I can't remember how much it was. I would have to rewind now.
I don't know. I think I gave him some money for the pushing forward and getting this in. I convinced him, and then I gave him some money on the side.
Right. To be honest, I don't really want to stop and go back and do some accountancy right now.
There we go.
So I might just retcon that at some point and take some money away from you.
I think it was free for most people, except for those that weren't doing anything.
If you worked on the ship, it was free. If you said, okay, I'm going to help if there's any trouble, like fighter, it was half, and otherwise it was full.
Yeah, I think we worked. I think we're fine.
Yeah. I was rested, remember? I didn't work.
One full admission.
Yeah.
I go to the harbor master. Say to the harbor master, "Have you seen?" and then describe this person.
But the harbor master's still in bed as you come in.
Yeah.
Anybody?
The merchant wouldn't have been on the harbor. He was entering the city by land. We saw him row to shore.
Yes, but
you saw him row away from the ship into the dark.
Yeah.
That's all you saw.
I don't know where he went.
You don't actually know where he might have pulled into the harbor somewhere.
Whoever is around.
Start asking everyone. Let's spread out and let's just start asking everyone to see if they saw anyone land a small boat in the last hour.
But we're all within earshot of one another, so that we can get together.
Right. Okay, group finances. I see 25 gold. That's far too much.
Oh. How much do I subtract?
I'll work that out another time. As I said, I'm not going to do that now. If you push me, I'm going to say you have to subtract 25 gold. So, right. So you ask around a bit. Can you each, who wants to start doing some asking and finding and so on, just do me persuade check, and I want to see how many successes you have between you. See how that goes. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. That's 2 so far, is it? I saw more dice roll than I see in the chat.
Yeah.
I rolled
Yeah.
one, but
I thought I rolled.
Someone's
Yeah.
didn't go through.
It's not showing in the
try
chat. Is it?
again.
Yours isn't
Those
whoever
are
just
my
rolled that
dice,
isn't
but it
going through.
doesn't track in the chat, does it?
Have you got
Yeah,
private
500.
roles selected in your?
You might have.
Yeah, if you right click
no.
on it, can you release it? Oh,
there
that
it
does
is.
not show
Oh,
for you
now,
either.
now it shows up.
Oh, it's just late coming through.
Yeah, I'm having some issues with latency.
You
for
can do
some
it in
strange
F5
My
reason.
if you want
first
to.
roll was, better.
Do an F5
Success.
or control F5 if you like. Otherwise, I can see whether I can roll for you, whether that comes through.
The 2 successes so far, and whatever.
Ah,
you
yeah.
got.
Now my first roll shows up.
Really? That's
We'll count
unusual.
We'll count
Yeah.
that one. Julie.
This is the
The
sort of
first one
lag I
was
know
17, the second
from roll
minus
20.
19.
Don't know from this one.
Yeah, I was on 19 on the second roll, but a 5.
Okay. I've just restarted. So.
And then re-roll and then see whether that helped. So you're starting asking around some of the guards people. You're asking some of the people who are just coming out, and they all say, "Oh, I just got up. I don't know." Because it was probably a good couple of hours, if not more. No more rolls coming through, Shira?
I'm just getting there. Skills and persuade.
Persuade, yeah. Now I'm seeing rolls, and that looks pretty good, but it's not coming through in the chat.
No, it's not.
You don't have a private or anything.
No, I
Very
have nothing.
peculiar.
I'm gonna I'm just gonna restart this.
Okay, I'm going to press F5 on my Foundry, so you might briefly lose connection as well. This is there have been some updates since last time we played, but this is very unusual to have this sort of lag and things.
I haven't used Foundry in a while.
So, but you had at least 2 successes, didn't you, between you? And Shira just had another at least 2.
It's 4. Yeah.
So, eventually you locate a few children. Like children who are basically doing odd jobs around the harbor. They don't seem to have a place to stay at. And they say, "Well, yeah, we did see somebody pull up in a little boat. It's over there." And he points under sort of a boardwalk on the side. Somebody stashed the boat away. Your thief, your Acheron, as you know him. And then he ran into town.
Which way did he run?
Points away from the harbor, north.
Right. What do we want to do? Do we want to split into 2 groups and then go start trying to find him?
I'd like not to split up.
Well,
If we
did
split into 2 groups of 2.
he leave any
Splitting up
traps?
is a smart idea here. I also would like to ask the children if they could, guide us through where they think he most probably would have gone.
Don't really know, but yeah, sure.
And I'll, there's a reward in it for you if we find him. Just to put some
And it's not
incentive.
25 gold.
What's the
Sweeten the
reward?
pot.
What's the reward?
I'll just play with a couple coins and let's just see if we find him first.
No. Otherwise, if we find him, then you don't give me the reward anymore.
I'll flip them a coin and then let's get going.
Okay. And they run off to the sort of market square, which is a bit north. Only takes a minute or 2 minutes to get there. And then he says, "Well, I don't know where you went from here." And holds out his hand.
Well, I hand him another coin, a copper one, And what do you think?
Looks a bit
Where would the
disappointed.
shady merchant go from here?
I don't know. Maybe he would go to the inn to find somewhere to sleep.
Well, let's go to the inn.
Yeah, and you go across to the inn.
Wait,
and
what kind of roads are these?
He won't be
Just
going
dirt?
to the inn.
These are just sort of
You don't think so?
compacted
Like,
earth.
if
If
he
you
was
think-
hired to steal the amulet, and there was someone waiting for him to deliver said amulet, where would that one wait?
The
And
question is would someone be waiting here in this small town, or is someone waiting in Ascalon? And therefore, he's going to quickly try to get something like a horse and get out of this town and start
Yeah.
heading. That's
I mean,
more
this is
likely.
where splitting the group up might come in handy. Like, there's not really a point to investigate as an entire group of 4 people if we need to cover a lot of ground very fast.
But if 2 people leave the city and then 2 people stay in the city, it might
No,
be very.
I'm not talking about leaving, but
so much
we need
Let's
to
not
go
make
check
this too
the gates.
complicated, guys.
Yeah.
I say,
Yeah, so what I say is you are going towards the inn and you're discussing these things in a lively manner, and you hear some commotion over from the stables.
Stable sounds good as well.
go over to the stables.
And we go over to the stables and you hear how they are talking very, very quickly in Agosian. I think some of you speak that, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Basically saying, "Oh yeah, where's my horse? Where's my horse? I don't know. I left it here," says the stable guy. "But even the saddle is gone. My best saddle." So they're basically fighting. It looks like there was a horse stolen.
Right.
Okay.
Let's get
Do
to
they-
the eastern gate. The eastern gate.
Do they? Okay, it's a stable. I'm there saying, do you have 4 horses?
And we will try to get, your missing one back. We know who took it.
Well, I don't have any horses I can just give you. They all belong to guests of the inn.
Okay, where in the city can we go to get horses?
There's a livery stable further by the gate, and there's this merchant you might be able to convince to part with one. If they're up yet. It's too early
How
now.
about you borrow us 1 or 2 or 4 horses and we will bring them back by midday?
No, I can't do that. You can see how the guests react.
Which gate is it?
Where? Which one? Where the livery
Where the
stable
horses
is.
are? Yes.
There's the eastern gate.
Okay, so I'm heading right over to the eastern gate. I'm saying, come on.
Rush over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is the stable master up?
Just really quick here. Sorry for interruption. Before we leave, I would ask them, when did they discover that the horse was missing? Like, when was the horse stolen?
Only just now they're discussing it.
They just discovered it like 10 minutes ago. They don't know when it was stolen. Sometime during the night.
Grab the horse, he's doing the runner. Eastern gate, as quick as possible.
Mm-hmm. So is the stable master up?
Not yet.
Well, let's wake them up.
Stable boy is up.
We
But yeah, it doesn't
4
take too long, and the stable master comes up and sort of, quite a
So
haggard
whilst you're
guy.
waiting horses, can I go to the gate itself? I want to question the guards there to see if they saw anyone leaving.
Yeah, okay, you can go to the gate. But first of all, the horses.
I'm going
A really haggard guy who looks like he hasn't been eating enough, or looks a bit unhealthy as well, and looks at you up and down and says, "What do you want at this ungodly time of the morning?"
We need 4 horses. We will bring them back as soon as we can. I have coin, and I offer 2 gold for kind of just to kind of rent them, as it were, for half day.
I don't know. I don't know
I
you.
try.
How can I be sure that you actually bring the horses back again?
I use my charming.
I have got
I use
3
my
horses you can buy for 10
charming
each.
nature. Charming nature.
Don't we need 5 horses?
Yeah, Turo wants to have a horse as well. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we can share a horse.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, sir.
Yes, Mortas, you can share a horse.
Okay, so I'm going to try to use as much of my female ways as I possibly can, and I am going to use. Oh, we don't have any friggin' momentum. Okay, well, I'm just going to try to convince.
You can give me some doom if you like.
Oh, you don't need any more. So let's try to convince, and let's see if my roll is going to work now. So
I can see the dice, but not the chat card. So that's a success and a complication, right?
I can't see it either.
It was a 420.
Yeah, I can't see it.
This is really annoying now.
You already refreshed your page?
I've refreshed mine, and Mortas has done as well. So
what are
it's
you
definitely
using?
shown as a public role, isn't it? On your option in your chat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But what are you using? Are you using Firefox, Google Chrome?
Safari.
ooh,
Safari.
Is that my bad?
Safari
I don't know
has
either.
been known to cause some issues in the past.
Maybe you could sign in. I don't know if you have another browser.
Okay,
Mm.
that's what I'm doing now.
Okay, but from what I saw, there was a success, maybe even 2 successes, and a complication.
Mhm.
So he says, well, I'd be willing to trust you to loan you a horse, but not the others. They will have to buy
How
it.
much do you usually charge if you sell your horse?
You can have them for 12? 12 each? 12
How
gold?
about we leave your
12
deposit,
each out.
and you will just get that one back minus the 2 gold rent if we bring them back later.
So you're basically saying you're going to give me the 12, and when you bring back the horse, you get 10 from me.
Basically, yeah.
Looks at you. But you bring them back in a good state, not knackered.
Obviously.
Fine, let's do it.
Perfect. Do we have
No, we don't
40
have.
gold among us?
No, let's.
Otherwise, I would ask Shira to maybe, haggle on those 12 gold a little bit more.
You just agreed it. No, Shira has
Yeah.
already basically been able to say you don't have
Yeah.
to leave the deposit. You can just
This is
rent
the
it for
classic,
2.
oh no, I left my wallet in the car.
On the boat.
Might coin another pouch.
I mean, we have 20-ish something.
You just agreed
Eight
on
version.
5 or 4 horses at 12 and 1 at 2. So that's 50.
Why do we need 5
60,
horses,
yeah.
by the way?
Just
Tura?
5 of us.
Shira, no,
Tura is that, you remember,
Tura,
the daughter? Antaeus'
We got
daughter?
a daughter with us.
Do we bring her on the chase?
Yes.
Because we will return here.
She came along.
Yeah.
We could leave her as a deposit.
No. Stop it.
That's unkind.
She could be
You can
important.
keep that lady. That's fine. So the guy looks at you expectantly. What would it be? Okay, quick cut to Creus, who's running to the gate.
Yeah.
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 And a sleepy-looking watchman who's opened the
Excuse
gate,
me.
and the first people are
Excuse
coming
me.
into town. Yeah, what is it?
Has someone passed through in the last hour on a horse?
Yes.
Maybe rushing?
People have been coming in and people have gone out.
Has there been a single individual on a horse, probably trying to get through in a rush?
Somebody wanted to leave very early, yeah.
How long ago was that?
Oh. I don't know. What's the time right now? I haven't got my time module up. Let's say
6 a.m.
it is something like 8 o'clock now in the morning. Or 7. And probably, an hour ago. Maybe an hour and a half.
I'll describe him. Does this sound like the individual?
Well,
About
he
this
was wearing a
size.
cloak. But it could be.
And he was on his own, yes?
Yeah, he was on his own.
Okay.
And he was traveling light. I thought he was a messenger. That's what he said.
And this road is the road to Ascalon.
Yeah.
Does it go anywhere else?
where there are some villages and places along, and you can actually a couple of crossroads where you can go north into the hills.
Okay. Thank you. I think that's all I needed to know.
He says without looking at the world map.
Probably a lot of fishing villages, isn't there, as well?
Yeah, along here there are, you know that from your previous journeys, maybe there are some other small towns, basically, with logging, or some of them are mines or quarries and things like that. A couple of vineyards, some agriculture, but not much.
Okay. And how far is it to Ascalon?
It is by ship 3 days.
So by
By
horse?
land longer.
I have actually the exact measure somewhere. I think the whole journey was 565, and this is 2/3 through, so roughly 160 kilometers. Roughly.
Which, at a push, is probably 3 days as well on horse.
Yeah.
Hmm.
At a push,
need to buy the
probably with
horses?
changing horses.
If we know he's going to Ascalon, then we could just take the boat, which is already paid for.
Yeah. But it's a gamble.
We don't know,
Yeah.
do we? That's the thing.
We would be in Ascalon before him.
Hmm.
Potentially.
I mean, he has one horse. Like, if I recall correctly, we talked about this in the beginning. If we take the land or sea route and decide on the sea route because it was faster.
Yes. Yeah, we
So it
did.
should be faster.
And we don't have the funds for horses, at least not without horse.
For all of us. I mean,
Yeah.
what we could do, but this will, like, a little bit metagaming here, will just fuck with the game. 2 people go by horse, and the other 2 go by boat, and wait there, and we basically do a pincer movement, but that would
Dangerous.
suck in terms of
Oh.
gameplay.
That is dangerous.
That's dangerous because we could end up with a pretty shitty encounter.
Yeah.
Just two or three of us, 2 of us probably, on horseback.
Because there's also the chance he may have arranged to meet someone before Ascalon.
Nah,
Probably
nah.
not.
This
but-
is a big item. So if he's going that way, he's probably thinking that we're going to follow either behind by horse, or we're going to be spending a lot of time just doing what we're doing, debating, instead of getting back on the boat and getting the hell out of here.
Tick, tick, tick.
Yeah, yeah. I say we take the boat.
Fine with me.
Yeah.
I'll go with the majority. I prefer the horse, though.
We don't have the funds.
Yeah,
there for
ideally
all.
we would just really split up. I think that would be netting the most success chances, but it's just not a big fan of it in
Up to you.
game terms.
Up to you. Shira, can you just try another die roll now that you're in?
Yeah, I was
Firefox?
just thinking that. Yeah,
Yeah, just do something random. Like a regular, whatever rolls.
there we go. It's working now.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think.
Let me just
Oh,
quickly
no.
check.
I
My
just
skills?
managed to close mine by mistake.
Using brave.
Yeah,
well,
I'm
I
using
will
Brave
too.
as well. So let me just get back into my account here. Because I was just going to get rid of the little hold-on tab thing that always keeps flying on the left on Brave, and actually close the tab instead. That was a bit daft. So I'll have that back in a minute, though. You go back to the ship. The captain looks at you and says, "Oh, you made up your mind then. You're coming with us." I'm assuming.
Yes.
Ask him if he can somehow get to Ascalon quicker than normal.
Okay, I'm gonna try to persuade him.
Quicker than normal. I mean, how would you imagine that works?
Well, riskier shortcuts. So maybe you has to avoid some dangerous rocks, and there's a more riskier, shorter version.
Faster wind.
It is a straight
Maybe
run.
you plan to
There's-
stop on the way, and can you not stop?
Well, we're not going to stop anymore between here and there.
Okay.
There's not a lot I can do, really. And the crew are already quite spooked that you're coming back.
Well, my suspicion was that this shady merchant was the one causing all this, dream
It's gonna be fine now.
nonsense. I'm fairly certain it should be, dealt with now that he's gone.
You
And I
think?
assume his sons at this point have left and are nowhere to be found.
Actually, you just see them being escorted to the harbor master as thieves.
Very good.
And you can see that there's some goods being taken off board and some provisions being taken on board. And basically, the only thing you can speed this up is by making sure that the porters are working swiftly. Maybe that gives you half an hour or so, or maybe helping them. But essentially, the ship they can't really leave very quickly there. But they're leaving before lunch. So, can you do me another sorcery roll, please, Mortas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually more banking that you guys are going by land. I have to
Nice.
say. Very
Okay.
nice.
Now I can.
Excellent.
So that's working. Your rolls are working too now.
Yeah.
Good. As you are sort of organizing all these things, you're just feeling this longing, like something is tugging at you a little bit. You hear this tone, you hear that buzz in your ear occasionally again, and it is definitely coming from the east. And you
We're on the
think,
right
is,
path.
Is
Nice
this
to hear, yeah.
amulet, or is this something else?
I would assume it's it either has to be
No,
any kind of
it's-
sorcery would be the amulet.
It's just got this sense of this taste that you get in your mouth, this slightly sour taste as when you were in the visions and in the dream.
Mm.
That comes with it as well. I had more or less planned on a land pursuit. Now I have to change my plans a little bit.
We just don't have the money for it.
Well,
It's
I didn't
up to
expect
you,
you to.
he said.
You just said 12, and I thought that's probably a bit high. You immediately agreed to it. It's like, oh, okay. You don't have the money. Right, so essentially, the captain, Nilos, is rushing his crew along. You're helping. You're jogging up and down the gangplank with all the provisions that they need for the next few days. And very quickly, actually, just before lunch, you're casting off again and pulling out into what promises to be a nice, calm day. There's not a lot of wind to help you, but at least there's nothing to hold you up either. So the people are manning the oars, and you're making good progress over the day. But what's going through your head?
I'm feeling guilty that I didn't wake up and that my senses were dulled for some reason, and so I'm feeling pretty responsible for the loss.
You had a drink overnight, didn't you?
Mm.
No, he didn't drink.
I think we had it. Did I have a drink?
you
I
did.
think most of you did, unless you specifically.
I think it was
said
just
you
me and
didn't.
Djachroum. I got staggered.
Yeah, I didn't.
Either way, I'm feeling guilty.
Yes. Which is fair enough. What about the others?
I'm just worried if, like it is a gamble going by sea. I'm
Yeah.
just worried if it will pay off.
Hmm.
Could pay off, but it could also be the exact wrong choice. If it just wears off in the middle of the two cities to meet with some shady contact or something.
True. Tira goes to Krios while, during the first day, and just says, "Oh, I'm so worried. Have you got any of your wise words for me? Will we make it? Will we recover that stolen gem?"
I think you'll be fine. Have faith in us. We'll get it back, definitely. Because if we don't, then we've got big problems.
What sort of problems?
Well, it's
Yeah,
it'll be in the wrong
actually.
hands. And if it's in the wrong hands, well, who knows what they may do with it. After all, your father warned us about this thing.
Yes, I'm just worried what would happen if mighty sorcerer would actually get his hand on this, because didn't they say there was the spirit of a sorcerer captured in this gem? Of this
Well, that's what we need to get it back quickly.
And if they are released, what could that mean for us? Would that bring back the old sorcery? The demons of old?
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. We need to get it back. I suspect that the person who's asked this merchant to steal it from us, he's probably not in Ascalon. There's probably someone he'll hand it off to, and then they'll take it elsewhere. We just need to get it before it gets into the sorcerer's hands.
Have you been to Ascalon before?
I would have passed through there on the way here.
I hear that it's a hive of scum and villainy, where they're trading slaves.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you'd be fine with us. We can take care of ourselves. After all, we've got Durzo. Durzo will kill them all if they get in our way.
Yeah, speaking of Durzo, there's a lot of Stygians there too.
Well, he'll fit well within them then. No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. But just stay with us. We also need to find this individual as well, don't we, that your father knew here?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what his ghost told us.
Maybe or maybe not. I think we discovered that this Baruch guy is quite a shady fella.
He could, after all, be the one that's asked for the gem to be stolen from him.
Yeah.
Could be, but...
We need to find him, but not necessarily as an ally.
Yeah. We need to be careful, don't we?
Also, just as a plan B, if I'm not mistaken, then our grand objective is to basically go where the amulet needs to go anyway, and then interrupt the ritual or whatever is taking place there.
They wish to use it for a power source to gain the throne of Stygia.
But it needs to be used in a specific location. Like at this...
Yeah.
I have it in my tombs, but...
Yes.
At the end of the river tomb, something like that.
Yeah,
So
we can need to get somewhere in the Dreamlands as well as in the real land. Yeah.
Yes.
The Hall of Judgment, where we need to go.
The Hall of Judgment.
We know where the amulet at some point will end up anyway. If we bring it there or if they do. So it's not all is lost if we don't find this guy right now.
Not all is lost. But
at least if we take it there, we have more control over the outcome.
Of course, yeah.
Okay,
one of the statements that he made was, it's not our role to stop. It's our role to journey with and be there in the Hall of Judgment. So ultimately, our main objective is to get to the Hall of Judgment.
That was, yeah.
But we need a means of stopping what they're doing, don't we?
Ideally.
Ideally, but once there.
But these halls of judgment are not in the real world, are they?
We saw that.
That's fine, you can see that.
It's a real world location tied to an spirit world location. And we need to be basically, to understand it, when we have those visions or dreams or whatever, we can travel in them. And then we need to go to the astral location, whatever you call it. And at the same time, when we awake, we have to go to the real world one.
Yeah. Yes. So we're going there twice.
Yeah.
Yes. Which messes with my head as a GM. But I don't think we'll get to that tonight. To the other layer. Don't think so. Not the way we started so far. So you're making a decent start. But on the second day, there's a fog that comes up, a mist that just lies over the sea, and you have to slow down. There's not a lot of wind either, and it's very, very hard to actually see anything. In the distance from the water, you hear some other boat moving past, and you hear some shouting and so on, but you can't see anything. And Niles is keeping everybody really quiet because he's still worried about them being pirates. On the third day, let me just have a look at that one. The other weather is slightly windier, but let's see how well he navigates that thing. Yeah, but he's competent. So you move through again quite competently. Overall, it's just burning under your nails. You're just thinking, why is everything going so slowly? But actually, Captain Nihilus tells you that this is the perfectly normal speed, and yeah, there's not much you can do to actually hurry it along. But it's just you're getting frustrated because you were hoping to fly like an eagle or something, and come into it. And on the next day, you come into Ascalon. You can see it on the far horizon. So Ascalon's harbor is quite a large harbor, actually. You can see it from the distance already. I think I actually made a little thing here. A little view of what Ascalon roughly looks like. Now you have to remember this is not exact. So if it doesn't quite match everything in the description, then...
we need tokens on the scene, we do think.
You don't. Yeah. Switch that off.
Oh,
specifically switched that off, but I guess it didn't take.
Well, no visibility.
There we go.
There you go.
There you go. So this is a strange place. Ascalon is quite large. It's probably got about 40,000 people living there, so it's a really big city. The city's main god is Peteor, for those who are good with the law of Conan, who's sort of a fertility god, but a raw one with lots of power, lots of might, and so on. Can be quite gruesome as well. And from the distance, you see that there are great white towers and ziggurats. The city is, as you know, surrounded by a great wall, but within that there's another walled interior. So it's the inner city where the nobles and so on, the rich folk live, and the others are living outside, either outside of all the walls or within the first ring, if that makes sense. And the harbour is quite large and basically gets you into this first ring already. Ascalon is famous for being a slave trading city. There's other things being traded, but the main commodity where they're making their money from, that is the slaves. And you want to make sure you don't end up as one of those. It's a city, as it says here so nicely, it's a mix of the foul and the fair, reeking alleyways leading to shining boulevards and gleaming towers saw next to crumbling scum-encrusted ruins. You approach it, and you have Tyra says to you, I have a bad feeling about this. This is not a good place to be in.
We will protect you.
Well, what's our plan of action then, everyone? Are we going to do two of us want to head over to the western gate and see if this merchant has arrived? Although there's probably lots of people coming and going, so it may be difficult.
I say Mortaz needs to do some work.
I do want to see, if I can maybe
should have
pinpoint
asked
more.
the description of the horse as well, in hindsight.
We should have checked that.
Yeah, best we can do, give the guards the description and...
Can I use a location?
With the sorcery roll and see what happens.
Also, I'm actually going to, since we did...
We've got some momentum too, use it.
Yeah, new scene, we have to take one away.
Nice.
3 successes. You can feel that this is near. You think it's calling you into the city.
Can I spend like a momentum?
You can spend an extra momentum
precisely
for extra information, yeah?
Yeah.
You think that it's definitely within the city. You think it might even be within the inner ring.
I feel like we need to go deep into the city. I'm going to tell them, tell everyone that we need to go deep into the city, it feels like.
Okay, so what's our story going to be to get into the inner city? What's our angle to get in?
Can we leverage our contact with the prince?
He doesn't feature here. He's not like a recognized person here. So maybe somebody who could help you might react to it, but you don't have an established contact.
He's still a noble, isn't he? So he may be a well-known individual. So just saying his name may gain us access.
Prince Satabus, yeah.
The other option is Boo. Just follow
What
that
if we
route.
sneak in and pretend to be nobles?
Now you do stand out here. This is Shemites here, and there are Pelishtim here, and the whole city guard. They're all Kushites.
Is
they're
the slave
external
trade
mercenary.
taking place in the outer ring or in the inner ring?
In the outer ring. And you can see, I mean, clearly this was well arranged because Captain Milos just brings the ship into a pre-arranged bay, docking bay basically, into berth, and starts unloading right away. So and you can see in the distance the queue of people looking to come into the city and the queue of people trying to go out. You got city guards on horseback going back and forth, supervising the whole thing. So this is a very busy and heavily policed city, if you like. Why are you posting your Kithim Purple Lotus, Shira?
Because I clicked on it and it didn't open the way I wanted it to. So
right.
no, just foresight. I'm checking my supplies.
Okay, fair enough. You just weren't trying to tell me that you were using this on a city guard or something.
No, not
Is
yet.
the
Not yet.
ring more of where all the nobles are, or is it just for like the rich ones? But basically, are rich merchants residing there?
There seems to be this inner city, this inner citadel, and you are not being high walls, and basically they don't let you in unless they know that you belong there.
Do we want to pretend to be nobles then? Is that what we think?
Might be other ways of getting in.
We could
The sewers are always an option, aren't they?
Possibly.
We could go to the highest type of tavern or inn that usually would kind of have people frequent the inner city. Maybe be merchants. We could pretend to be merchants.
Yeah, merchants wouldn't get in there, you think. But you can do some research if you like. You can, let's play this out though, rather than just saying we can go to an inn. What do you want to do? You're now basically at the harbor. You bid farewell to your Captain Nilos and to the ship, the Zephyr. The crew seem to breathe a sigh of relief that you're away from now, basically. And Tura is a bit nervous, and she's basically cast a little cloth all over her so people can't see her blonde hair and delightful features because, she's afraid that she might end up being sold as a slave. And you can see in the city how like slaves in chains are being driven through the streets by the dogs to a market, and how people are bartering about them and basically selling them off like cattle.
Is this the sort of place where if you get into trouble, you may just end up becoming a slave?
Looking at the stare this Kushite city guard just gave you, you think that might very well happen. He sort of looked down his long nose at you. You're being very closely watched.
Why is the city guard made out of Kushites? Aren't we in Shem right now?
You are in Shem.
Kush is one of the Africa equivalent ones, yeah?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, if somebody's already from Shem, maybe, or who's familiar with the city rather than just having gone through once, can you tell me? Otherwise, I might let you make a knowledge or law roll. It's knowledge here, isn't it? Or law? I forget.
Yeah.
Kush is a way away, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
They're well known for slave trading, though, as well.
Who runs the city here?
There is a king of the city.
And is the king a Shemite or a Cushite?
I think he is a Shemite. Maybe Peleshtim, so it's another Shem tribe. Yeah, the land around the city is sweeping plains, many flocks of sheep, herd animals grazing. What else can I tell you about this? Lots of travel.
Are there any guards that are Shemites, or are they all
No.
Cushites?
No. They all seem to be Cushites.
Okay, where are we going first?
There are actually some soldiers, you believe, that might be the famous Asuri. But they're not part of the guard.
Yeah, so we can't, because I'm good at disguise, but I don't think we could disguise ourselves as Cushites.
Probably not. Unless
And
you're
we
really good
couldn't-
at disguising.
And we couldn't disguise ourselves as slave traders with Tura as kind of, or Tura and myself.
As
Yeah,
slaves.
Could be risky.
then-
The
Yeah.
danger is if you get taken off of us because we fail in something.
Mm.
But she may be an asset to get us in.
Could
But
we
they
be
wouldn't get you into the inner ring.
emissaries for someone?
Pardon me?
Say again, Martin.
I was going to say, could we be emissaries of someone like Prince Sativus?
You probably would have to have some documents with you. And who are you there to see?
I mean,
The king?
I think if it's the inner city where all the valuables in the city are, then the criminals of the city will have found ways inside there. And I
Yeah.
still think that the sewers will probably be the way to go there.
Would you like
Or
to see
underground,
whether you can
hidden-
establish some contacts in the underworld?
Yeah.
Like, I think we need to find some street rats or some shady people and establish some rapport with them. And do it fast.
Right, who's good at society or thievery?
Trias, maybe? No?
I've got connections to the underworld, but I don't have the skills. I'm not quite there yet.
I am. I'm pretty good. I've got 13 in thievery,
Oh, that.
and I have a 13 in society. But thievery is I've got
Avery makes sense here.
expertise and focus in thievery for sure.
If somebody wants to
Um,
assist, I let that happen too.
Pardon me.
Somebody would like to assist.
So
I mean, I'm not terrible at society.
I'm gonna, I guess, look around and see if there's anybody who is using kind of like a thieves' cant type of manner or look in that type of way.
Essentially,
may
you're
be
looking
able to
for a
talk.
thieves' hideout or something like that. Yes, and that's all covered by that role together. So
Okay.
finding
We're
the
looking
people
for
and
the one
approaching
place
them.
we don't want to be found.
No, but if you know what you're looking for, then you can find them. So let's see. You've
Go
got
for it.
2 successes. I did say we needed an assist, or I recommended.
It was a
Normally,
close
the
one.
assist needs
Yeah.
to be rolled first, but does anybody want to assist?
Sorry.
I have horrible fever.
Go on,
I don't
Sandy.
even know.
Skills there. I'm happy to try to assist.
Assist is only on with 1d20. Yeah, not with 2.
As a society check.
Society or thievery.
Oh, and if we can do society,
Oh, I'm not too bad at thievery.
Go on. Decide. Who wants to do it?
Okay.
I'll
If
go
you do
for
society,
society one, but I'll use my talent to substitute it for council. Can I take one off? Yeah. That's not going to work.
Right. So you find a dodgy place, and you think that's the sort of crossroad little inn where typically you think thieves or similar thing, the underworld would meet on the edge of a slave market, and you walk in there and start chatting to people, but they tend to be a little bit resistant. So what is it are you actually asking them?
I'm asking them about what's the latest news. I'm listening for gossip. I'm listening for marks that they're talking about. Any type of news of the goings-on inside, like politics of what's going on inside.
Right, there's not a lot of that going on. Some people seem to be talking about, you just overhear that because they're speaking quite coded as well, but they seem to be speaking about a heist that they are planning on doing. Like somebody left their villa and because they've gone to the countryside, and they might try and see whether they can liberate a few possessions.
In the inner city?
That's what you guess, yes.
How many of them are speaking?
There's a little group of 3.
Do they look competent?
Ooh, do they look competent? How do you look like a competent thief? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the general signs of confidence.
They look confident, all right, yes.
So maybe, would it be an insight roll?
Yeah, why not?
Oh.
Can't tell that up.
They don't have any confidence.
You look at them, sort of
Can't tell.
listen to them, and you're not quite sure what's going on, but one of them turns around and says, "Why are you taking such an interest in our affairs, young lady?" And all 3 of them are standing up, coming towards you.
I may be of assistance.
I think she works for the guards. What do you think? I think she's looking for a bit of an education here. That she shouldn't be eavesdropping. I fan out around you a little bit.
Maybe if we rumble, maybe you'll find out that I am a very good and a great asset to have, as are my comrades.
I guess this is the point where we, just step up and look very intimidatingly.
They all muscle up to it and have a confrontation.
And I try to persuade them.
What are you trying to persuade them with?
I'm going to counter with my confidence.
Okay, go on then. That looks a little bit better. So you actually convince them to de-escalate, essentially. But they are still not very happy with you there, and basically still saying, "Off you go. Leave us in peace."
Did I get, as they were speaking, did I get any details sufficient enough so that we could actually beat them to it?
I think the only thing I'm going to give you on this one, because it specifically says difficulty 3, is that they were clearly talking about secret ways and tunnels or something, secret entrances that go into the inner city, past the gates. You don't think they were talking about the sewers?
Not the sewers.
Not the sewers.
Maybe I could trail them if we're not going to get any assistance from them and getting in. I could trail them and find out where they're talking about.
Maybe. Did anybody want to actually ask for Acheron or whatever his name was? Or for about
if you ask like that.
You could ask
probably not those guys, but
we're not sure whether we trust them, really.
You don't have to trust these guys necessarily. There are other guys around. This is a big city. 40,000 people is huge.
Yeah, we could ask about Baruch.
Right. Who's asking whom? What are you asking for?
So Baruch is supposed to be a scholar, isn't he?
Yes.
So a bunch of thieves in a bar in an inn, unlikely to know who he is. Is there some sort of library or maybe the church? If he's a scholar, the church may be aware, or
Well, there's a temple,
a
definitely.
place of education.
Yeah, actually,
Like a
people go to
university
scholars
of some
directly
sort.
to learn from them. There's not a university as such now.
Should we head to the church then?
The
Well, this
main
place is
temple
that-
here is of Pteor. As that's how you say his name. Pteor.
You said it was a fertility god.
Yeah, but quite a feisty one. He's a well-endowed bull in one rendering.
Hmm.
Can't think of anywhere else to go, so that
There's
probably is
also
the best
ram.
place.
Another symbol of him as a big ram.
Well, why not? Let's go there.
Okay. You can ask around a bit.
And we can word it that we're seeking the assistance of a scholar to help do some scribe work for us or something. Yeah. So
Okay.
it sounds like an innocent request for someone.
It takes a little while to do all of this, but I guess you're all going along? Or is anybody who has other plans? All going along then. Right. So you're talking to various people, and it takes a while until you actually find somebody.
Where did we leave on the trailing those guys?
Yeah, I think Krios is gonna.
Well, he's gone to the
Go
temple
ahead.
now.
I'm going.
I'm happy to stay back and trail these guys. If someone else wants to go to the temple, so we've got multiple routes, and we meet back at the inn afterwards.
I think that would be,
Right. So who's going to the temple?
I am.
I'll go to the temple. Yeah.
So
I was
I'm
going to
gonna
say
give
it
a
may be good if
chance.
Shiva stayed with me because we're both good at sneaking.
Yeah.
I was about to say the same.
Okay.
You're making this so complicated, guys. Right, come on. Somebody's
Did
going
you
to the
have
temple.
to steal
Somebody's
the
asking
amulet
for
from
food.
us? There was a choice.
There was a choice. Somebody's going to the temple to, and you tell me, what are you asking for? You're asking for the scholar Baruch. So who's going to do that?
I'll
Mortas.
ask for a scholar. Yeah.
Mortas is going to the temple. By yourself or with somebody else?
No, I
okay.
joined him.
Julian,
The
yeah.
two of you, and the
And
other
Terza.
two are staying in the pub. And Tura? Are you taking Tura with you?
We do.
Good. So, you eventually find somebody who says, yes, I have heard of Baruch. He is a scholar of old and ancient languages, especially. Yes, quite renowned.
And can we find him in the outer ring, or
Yes,
Is
he lives in the inner city. But yeah,
the inner?
sometimes he comes out to the markets. Maybe you might have to actually send him a message or to ask him to meet you out here because they won't let you in.
Anywhere he frequents in the market specifically?
Well,
Any shops?
he sometimes goes to the south market because that some traders sometimes bring old scriptures in.
Is
Antiquities.
there a
and-
way to get a message to him?
You can ask, yeah.
Who would we ask?
One of the temple
Guards?
messengers.
What message do you want to send?
And the temple messengers have access to the inner city.
Yes,
Interesting.
because there's a temple in the inner city too.
Very interesting.
And so they shuttle back and
Those,
forth their own things.
I see what you're going for here.
But you just have to pay a little fee for them conveying the message.
Of course. But those temple people do not look significantly different than your normal folk. Do they? Like,
They
don't have any
are
special
mainly Shemites and
things or-
Pelishtim, they're locals, but you see that some of them at least, you're not quite sure how it works because you don't actually know this cult very well, have got tattoos on their face.
Mhm.
Easy to imitate.
I mean, we have one with a disguise kit, don't we?
Doesn't
do.
always work.
Could be an approach.
Yep. Like swirls on their forehead and stuff. All right, back to the others. You are shadowing them. Now, after a little while, these guys get up and they are saying goodbye to each other. And they go outside the pub, the Crossway Inn, where they were having their talk, and they go in 3 different ways, 3 different directions.
Does one of them seem to be a leader, or the one that Shira was talking to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that Shira was talking to, the person who actually got up and said, "Why are you listening and not talking to us?" That you reckon might be the leader.
Yeah.
Let's
I
follow.
say we yeah.
Right.
So
So
we'll
who
be
wants to follow them? Both of you or just one?
Both of us.
Both of you. Then I want to see a roll for that. Is that thievery or is there something more specific?
I would say that it's stealth. Wouldn't it
Stealth?
be?
Yeah, probably stealth.
Yeah,
If you try not to be spotted.
I
yeah.
would say stealth. Yeah.
Stealth and observation, because if he wants to stealth away from you. But at this point,
Yep.
stealth, with he and his observation.
Well, there's one momentum. You're not using it.
I'm not going to use it. No.
Okay. I'll leave it there as well.
So you are pretty decent at this.
Mhm.
Let's see what this observation comes out as. Okay, yeah, he's walking across some markets and into some alleyways, and then ducks into a small hovel, a small place.
Okay. Follow.
And by the smell of this, you're currently in the Tannas Quarter, the leather
Okay.
maker, which is
Okay.
quite a ripe smell.
Follow him inside then.
It's just basically an entranceway. There's no door. It's just a curtain hanging in front of it. And behind it, you hear the clattering of some bowls or something like that. Some household noises.
Can we peer in? Can we? Without going in then?
There's a window a little bit further.
Okay.
I'll try
Have a
that.
look in the window.
Yeah, you see him standing there with a woman, and they seem to be preparing a meal. You reckon this is probably his home?
Okay. Well, we know where he lives, so we can stay observing.
I know where you live. And you hear some kids coming down the stairs because they have a sort of a little roof at the top. Basically,
I mean, now
two
you have a good
rooms
angle
down.
to threaten him. So
Yeah, good point. Sheila, when you spoke to him, did he say when he was planning to head in? Do what
No.
they were up to?
Not that I'm aware of.
They were discussing arrangements or guards at night, but you don't know what night.
Okay. So he may be going out late tonight. So
Yeah.
Can we find somewhere
You have enough
within
successes.
range to observe?
That's fine. You have enough successes to find somewhere close by to be unobserved. To hunker down.
Creus, bank your momentum. It's getting to that point.
Yeah,
At some point, do you want to dial back, or do you want me to dial back and tell the others what we're doing?
I'll go back.
Okay.
Back to where?
The inn we said we meet up.
We arranged to meet back at the
The-
end.
Okay,
end.
back to the end. Right, so the other two, with the information about these temple messengers, what are you going to do with that?
I guess we also head back to the inn.
would it be good to stop by the shop, the scroll shop, where he frequents?
Okay,
You might
so
learn
you're
some
going
more.
down to
Yeah,
the south market,
yeah,
as I was saying.
Good.
And yeah, indeed, there are some traders there who seem to older artifacts and a little bit of parchment and a couple of scrolls and so on.
Does one or some of those traders look especially established? As in they have like a...
Maybe ties,
What I'm
or
trying
like
to
an inner
discern is
city.
there a trader that looks like Baruch would frequent him?
Well, there's
As in
a few, let's call them flying traders, who's basically just have a little store somewhere, but there's a couple of them would actually have a building, an established building,
Yeah.
who trade in that. They seem to be more the regular ones rather than the people traveling through.
Buildings.
Should we go into those shops and ask
Yeah.
if they know Baruch?
The building's likely where he frequents.
Yeah.
There's likely more for him to
Okay.
browse.
So are you being quite blunt about it and say we're looking for Baruch? Do you know him, or?
I would maybe not ask directly, but say like we have this scroll back on the ship, and we heard Baruch is, like we were sent to find Baruch, but we don't know him.
Okay. Yeah, let's just do me persuasion again. One of you two.
Yes.
Difficulty 2.
All
Discretion.
You want to do it? I'll do it.
right. What do we have? Oh, you're doing it. Perfect.
There we go. That's all we needed. So you sort of slip into your role of talking about like scripture and different languages and so on. You know lots of stuff about that, right? Being a scholar yourself, and this guy is certainly warming to you and says, "Oh yeah, I know where Baruch lives. And yes, he does come. He does peruse my wares quite often because I am so well stocked here."
Is there anything he specifically buys often? Any articles?
The older the better. And especially if it's from Stygia, he's very interested in that. So what's the scroll you have?
What is this for? Everything. Wait, what is it? The scroll that we have joined characters up.
Can't hear you.
So you're muted.
I could see it
You're muted.
move, but I...
Does it work now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Sorry for that. I was asking if he sends deliveries to Baruch sometimes.
Only if he's asked me to, and he hasn't recently. I come to think of it, I haven't seen him for a few days.
Okay, interesting. Regarding the scroll, we have, like, we are not scholars. We basically do not know what's in there. We are just, have been ordered to seek Baruch out.
But this man here seems to be a scholar.
But I am not.
It's never too late. I've got some introductory text here if you would like to buy some.
Another day.
Mortaz gets really excited.
Ooh, books!
I don't think we have the funds. Yeah.
There is not a huge number of books around, but there are scraps, there are written down things, there are stories, there's verse, and there's some stuff you don't even know what it says. There's like a script you have never seen before, a language you've probably never heard of. So this is
He'll
actually,
learn it by the end of the night.
Yeah, he probably will. Ooh, I can learn a new language. Let me roll on it. Yeah. But yeah.
Maybe depends how much is the book. Maybe it'd be good to offer to Baruch. He's also a learner of languages. Might be a good gift as an offering.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Could combine this with the temple messengers. Make one of them deliver a book. Does not
Are you
sound
asking
too
how much
far-fetched.
this introductory book is that he was just talking
Yeah.
about? As well, to be honest, I think this is a little bit basic for Baruch. But if you're looking for a present, and then he goes, opens a little chest, which is sort of
This sounds
brass
expensive.
fixtures on it, a really, really nice wood, and he opens it up, and there's a sort of velvet cover inside, and he pulls out this gem-studded book, encrusted and so on. This might very well sway him to see you.
Tura is with you, isn't she?
Yeah, Tura is with us.
Yes, yeah.
I assume.
but she's keeping a low profile right now. And yeah, it's a gorgeous book. You don't know what it says or anything, but it's a gorgeous book. Could be used for only 15 gold.
Oh boy, no.
All that money gone instantly.
I mean, and Mortas can't make out at all what this book is about.
I don't want to say at all. Give me a quick roll on your lore, difficulty 3.
Lore?
Mm,
Difficulty what?
3.
Ooh.
Don't want to make it too easy. I know how well he rolled. Remember that success the other week?
You're gonna make it difficult.
Yeah, I know. Can't forget that one.
3 successes. Oh no, I have to think up something. It is
Easy.
about some. It seems to be a travel
Source.
log of somebody who went south along the Kushite coast and wrote lots of things up. But that's all you can really
Theoretical on
glean from
sorcery,
it.
yeah.
You just recognize some names of places and so on.
Well, is there any way, maybe in the name of scholarship, we can get a discount? This is a gift.
In the name of scholarship, but you're not studying it, you're just giving it away.
Yeah, but Baru is a very high scholar.
Of course he is. And he will truly appreciate a gift like this. You want to do some bartering, do you?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you can do...
I mean, there is no way that this book is worth 15 gold, is there?
Why not? You don't know much about books.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Who
but
knows?
Is he going to throw gold
if
in
I'm
as
not
well?
mistaken, then 2 gold brings me through a month
It's exquisite.
of life. I mean,
You're cheap anyway.
Buy the damn book.
Can I barter for
You
it or
can
not?
barter a little bit. Yeah, you can do a persuade for me. All right, I'll let you, seeing as you're a scholar as well, I'll let you have it for 12.
how about for 10 and we tell Baruch that you just got a new exciting shipping in that he needs to check out? Let's do some affiliate marketing here.
Right, you can do me unassisted because Mortas already
Right,
has tried
unassisted
persuade
for-
test, but I want 2 successes to reduce it any further.
Go for it.
This calls for a fortune.
Oh, yeah.
Oh dear, he's doing that.
Yeah. What's that for?
Oh, that's 2.
2 successes.
But
Right.
gems falls
Yeah,
off.
they
No, I
Complicated.
don't have anything in persuade, so my fortune only counts as 1 success.
Oh, yeah.
That is a complication.
So you have 2 successes. So okay, I'll let you have it for 11, but that's the last word.
Yeah, okay. 11 sounds good.
Wait, what? Yeah, you have the funds, right?
I have the funds, yeah.
Yeah, party funds.
I'll pay him the 11 golds and, hand the book over to Mortas.
But you make sure
I mean-
that he knows that, yeah, I did your deal just because I knew it was going to Baruch.
Obviously. I'm a man of my word.
Yeah.
And I will ask him whether it was delivered. Because this was a special
Yeah.
Baruch price.
We'll go to the temple and send it.
Special Baruch price. Twice the amount of the usual.
Well, I would assume Brew is an often customer, so he gets discounts and stuff.
Bank.
Right. Oh dear. So you're meeting back at the inn. Let's fast forward to that. It is now early evening, you reckon? Minus 11 gold, yeah.
Just to keep note
It's a
of
good
that.
idea that you post that so we can backtrack and
Yeah.
see it.
No problem.
Bank your momentum.
No, there was. I don't think there was none.
There was no momentum because you
Because
needed 2
yeah.
successes.
Oh.
It was just he didn't change the
He needed to
difficulty.
anyway. So, what do you want to do? Nobody has yet asked about Acheron.
Not yet.
We're not giving
Not
us
in the
the away.
inn.
Interesting pick on
If the
the...
one we want to ask about Acheron is Baruch himself.
Or works for Baruch.
Okay, so while they're doing their book bartering, I guess we're both having. Or no, I'm back.
You're back.
So I'm waiting. Prius is there. So I'll inquire to the tavern owner or whoever's serving me if they've ever met a Acheron.
Acheron.
I describe.
You described him. Right. So, again, there's actually... I'm just going to use the rules as written here, or the scenario as written. If you're asking about him, there is... Let me just find it. A Society of Thievery test. So this would probably be Society, because you're just not in a thievery sort of place. And it's a daunting test, so difficulty 3.
Ooh.
And...
Or doing.
Let's see. This is where several minds, yeah. Seeing as this is almost investigation, I don't think our clues should be hidden behind the die roll. I'm sort of gumshoe with that, but let's see what happens. 4 successes. There you go. And you describe it, and I say, I don't know. No, Acheron. There is a person who reminds me of that, but he's called Yarosh.
He has 2 sons, Anatosh and Zagros. Have you,
I've never come across those. Are you sure?
Yes. What? Sorry, what was his name again?
Yarosh.
Yarosh.
I don't know about any sons though. There you go.
Who does Yarosh what does he hang
comes
around
in
with?
here, he trades sometimes,
Good fellow?
He's alright. He pays well. He's good for his credit when he comes to the wine, to buy some wine here.
There were some people here before that I kind of challenged. We had some friendly banter. Would they know him?
I don't know. And I'll just take 1 extra momentum off you if you like and give you some extra information. Would you like to spend that? Or not bank it, essentially?
I will spend it. Yeah.
This server basically shouts across to somebody else and says, have you seen Yarosh recently? And the other person said, oh yeah, he was here actually today. I think he was on his way up to the inner city to meet somebody.
How does Yarosh get into the inner city?
I don't know. Maybe he's got a pass.
Oh.
An invitation from a sponsor up there or something.
We must have some very good forgers here. Do we have anybody who may be able to provide a pass for me and my colleagues?
Forgers, you say? Hang on, I just need to think about this a little bit. There's an extra clue I need to weave into this, and this is really going the wrong way right now.
Sorry.
And I'm just wondering what I can do without it. I'll just let you run with it. Let me just look through here. Yeah, actually, why not? She looks at you a little bit, but that would be illegal.
Oh no.
Oh, well, it would be for the benefit of all.
Why?
Well, I would be able to find Yarosh, and I would be able to talk up the establishment and yourself. And
I'm sure
maybe
if you
make
wait long
connections.
enough, he'll come back here.
Oh, I'm sure he'll come back here, but
You
That
know, if
would be
anybody gets
nice.
caught with things like that, they're immediately sold as slaves.
Well, you have made me think.
Yeah, which the authorities say is for the good of everybody.
Well, we don't want to upset the apple cart too much, do we?
No.
Well, then,
She
that's
seems
a
a bit
good bit of
spooked
information.
that you are talking about these illegal things so openly.
Okay. Does Yarosh have a room here when he comes
No.
back?
No, he doesn't have a room, but he does drop by here when he's in the city.
And he's already been?
Yeah, my friend said he was here first thing this morning.
Well, thank you very much for your information. Guess I'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't beat him here.
Okay. Anything else you want to discuss? Otherwise, I'm going to go back to Krios.
Yeah, go back.
So it is early evening, and the person you were observing steps out of his house, looks around, and walks off.
I'll look for Shira. She hasn't returned. Damn. Okay, I'll start following him.
You start following him. Let me see one more stealth roll from you.
Okay. Oh, no momentum. Here we go.
There's always doom, you know.
Yeah.
Well done. 2 are needed. So you've got 1 extra momentum.
Okay.
You see him meet 2 other people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
One of them wears a sack over the back, and all of them have their hoods up now. They put them up. And you follow them into an alleyway.
Okay.
And they're basically... let me just find this. They go to a house which, as far as you can tell, has burnt down. It looks like half fallen in. Some of the walls are cracked and so on. You can smell that there's a soot and the fire that was there probably a little while ago. But they duck into the old doorway and disappear into the back.
I'll follow up to see where they've gone.
Yeah, it's a bit hard. So you sort of scout behind them. You just sort of pop your head around the corner to see where they went, and you hear them moving through the back. And then you hear some creaking sound, and then a slam.
Okay, I'll give it 30 seconds, and then I'll follow to where I think they went, and I'll look probably for some sort of trapdoor. That's what I'm looking for now.
Some sort of... do an observation. Yeah, well done. Again, there's one more momentum. You notice that there is a bit hidden. Actually, it's not very easy to see, and you actually need to... there's no ring on this trapdoor, but there is a trapdoor. And because of the clue you had of the noise and so on, you find it reasonably quickly. And you said, do you want to open it a little bit?
It was quite noisy to open, wasn't it? So they could hear me.
It was a bit creaky, yeah. Or do you want to wait a little?
I'll give it a couple of minutes for them to move away, and then I'll slowly open it. I didn't hear them light torches or anything, did I?
You didn't hear that, no.
No. Okay. So I'll give them a couple of minutes, then I'll cautiously open it.
You cautiously open it, and underneath you just see a hole, like a very steep staircase going down, and at the bottom of it is pitch black.
I will go down there. I'll leave the trapdoor open. I'll go down because I'm hoping I can see some distant illumination from one direction, so I know which way they've gone.
Mm-hmm. You step down a little bit, and you see that on one of the stairs, just by the little bit of light still coming from the trapdoor, there are some lanterns standing on one of the steps.
Okay. I'll grab a lantern, but I'll carry on going down in the dark because I want to see if I can spot some distant light down below.
Right. You had enough observation, so I'll just take one momentum for that. You hear some distant voices and when you think just a little bit of shimmer of light bouncing around some corners, but there seems to be passage, and it doesn't seem to be very straight at all.
Okay.
And you
I'm going
did
to
notice now that you're thinking about it, that this burned house was basically backing onto the wall between the inner and the outer ring of the city.
Okay. And do I think I've stepped down into some sort of sewer?
It doesn't feel like a sewer. There's actually a little bit of colder air moving around here, but it seems to be dry. No?
Almost as if this is a secret tunnel of some sort.
It looks like it was, certainly this first bit that you're in, carved by an amateur, not by a mason.
Yeah.
It seems a bit rough.
I'll light the lantern and hood the lantern, assuming it's hoodable, and then I'll start following up where I hear the voices.
Mm-hmm. The passage only a few meters goes forward, and then there's a right angle and another right angle in it. And then you see that left and right, you see these massive, big, nicely trimmed stones. And you think, oh, that's probably the sort of stuff that the walls are built from. And into that is carved a little passage. A bit further along, you see some puddles on the floor, some water maybe, drips from the ceiling coming. It's a bit smelly. And then you see another set of stairs going back up.
Okay, I'll stop. I'm assuming I can't hear anything now. Their voices have disappeared.
Their voices have disappeared, yeah.
So I'll cautiously start going up the ladder, see where it takes me.
It's not a ladder, it's another stairway. Sorry, did I say ladder?
I said another stairway. So it's
another narrow stairway going up right at the end.
I'll head upwards.
And the stairs sort of double back on themselves a couple of times, so they seem to actually finish off higher than you started, you think. And there's a wooden door at the end of it.
Okay, and I'll stop and have a listen at the door.
Yeah, you hear some city noises from outside, and actually through the cracks in the door there's a little bit of light coming through.
Okay, I'm going to just cautiously open it an inch.
Mm-hmm. Just opened a little bit. On the right you see a big masonry wall.
Does it look like this is some sort of secret door? It's just a door.
It just seems to be a door.
Okay. Is there anyone around?
You don't think so?
Okay. So I'm going to poke my head out properly and see if I can work out where I am.
You basically have the wall on one side and there's a hedge on the other side, and probably only a foot-wide passage leading between the hedge and the wall. And you can see that the hedge sort of loops over, so it's a little tunnel through the vegetation.
Okay, I have enough information. I'll pull the door closed and I'm going to head back and close all the doors on my way back.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure I'm clear on the direction I've gone, and then once I'm out through the burned house, I'll put the lantern where it was and obviously burn it out, and then I'll head to the inn.
Okay, where the others are still discussing how to forge this document, right?
I'm hoping they're there.
What are the others doing then?
I assume that we're all back together?
Yeah.
Apart from Krias. Okay, so I guess you're telling me about this very expensive book.
Like, we found the perfect way. We only have to tattoo a face, steal a temple messenger garb, and then bring a 15 gold book to Peru and hope it all goes well.
And we need to paint our face. Why?
Because some of the temple guys have face tattoos.
Or if we send this book to Peru, would he send us an invitation? Send it as a gift.
We have a gift from Torah.
A gift from Tura.
We could just use this.
Now, you came up with at least 3 different plans, and you're trying to make them into one now, yeah? So you want to basically give a present across as dressed up as priests with a faked or sort of letter of authority of access. That's what you're saying, yeah?
I think we gave up on the forgery thing. Is Krias back with us?
Unless you want to do something special, he can just be back with you. That's fine.
Yeah. No. So
I found a way in. I found a way in. We have a route. Secret passageway that runs under the wall.
That's good because the forgery thing, that's going to get us into trouble. So, and we should probably keep our mouths shut. What do? We can sneak in, but once we're in, then what?
Well, if we dress as priests, carrying as messengers, or priests carrying this book, then when we're there, if someone actually comes across us, we've got a reason for being there.
As we could just walk in the inner ring in broad daylight instead of sneaking around.
There is a risk we may get stopped at the gate, whereas we've got a way to be in there and avoid the guards.
Okay, the big suspicious thing about the messengers. I don't know if it's going to take 5 messengers to deliver one book.
Very valuable.
It's a very expensive book.
It's not that heavy though.
And that's a good point. We could have a priest, and Durza, you could be a guard.
Yeah, makes sense.
And maybe a couple of us.
And I guess Stygian guards or protection is nothing unusual in the city, isn't it?
Sort of private security, that makes sense. The Stygians, there are quite a few of them around. You think that probably would work?
Is this a particularly misogynistic society, or would a female priest be okay?
You know, I was thinking about that, but hey, equal rights and all that. Why not?
All right, so I could be the priest.
You could do a priest, yeah.
Murta's going to be the scholar.
No, Patil is very
book.
much a masculine fertility god, but doesn't mean that there's no female priests.
I have a whip.
Relevance?
Well, because he's tough. He's a bully.
He likes being whipped. Yeah, okay.
Yes, there you go. You had to enter some levity.
All right. Plans.
Yeah, I think that's the plan, isn't it?
So you want to sneak in through the tunnel, but dress up and just in case you get challenged. You have one guard, you've got one priest, and you've got what? One carrier of the book.
Wait, we're still sneaking in the tunnels?
Yeah. Yeah, but then we're coming out with the bushes.
So the rest is cover story.
I'm trying to work what I am. If Durzo's the guard, we've got the priest, Jira, we've got the scholar in Motaz.
Tura is my acolyte.
Do we have to bring her along?
We don't. Let's leave her in the inn.
Oh my gosh. She will be gone by the time we get back, and then we'll have to save her from slavery.
It's your
We
choice.
should have her with us.
Your choice.
If we
You
book a
can leave her
room, she
behind.
gets to stay in the room there, can't she?
You can take a room at the inn and leave her there if you want to.
She's
That's
just
fine.
listening to us talk about abandoning her and all that.
Yeah,
Is
seriously,
she
right?
with us? Is she with us right now at the inn?
Probably,
assuming.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But she...
Tura, how do you feel about just staying here in your room and not doing anything? Like just staying there reading.
If you're going to see Baruch, I want to find out what happened to my father.
Yeah, that makes sense. She's got to come with us.
And if you want to
gotta
dress me
come
up
with
as
us.
an acolyte or novice, then that's fine.
Yeah, she could be a novice. She could be, whatever.
Okay. I guess I'll have to be a guard as well.
Yeah.
As there's so many of us, we need more than one guard.
So we have a scholar, a priest, a novice,
And
and
two
two
guards.
guards.
Right.
That makes sense.
Okay, let's...
No,
you're
it
disguising
And I
the
have
priest and
master
the novice, right?
disguise skills. Yeah.
You want to spend some time disguising, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, on you go then. Let's do that. I can't remember there was a particular skill. Was it thievery as well?
I've got something called master disguise, which allows me to impersonate others and pretend to be someone else. The problem is, it's just...
It's personal thing, not a group.
Was it... Somebody had a skill to disguise other people, though.
I thought that was Krius.
I'm just seeing if it does others. Moments in addition to this, if you disguise.
Oh, I have.
It's more about me disguise.
Mortaz, what do you have?
How to post this?
Play the part.
I don't know if that's a partner thing. One of time, guys, you may substitute.
Well, that'll help you.
And
Oh yeah.
how about Krias and Mortis just go in, establish a rapport with Baruch, and he just sends us the pass so we don't have to deal with the forgery and just can walk in there. Assuming we're on friendly terms with this guy. Because this whole 5 people
5 people, 1 book.
Carnival
Is a
is
risk.
just getting very convoluted.
I think once we are in, they'll be fine. They won't challenge us, says Tira.
Yeah. And I suppose we don't need to be expert disguising as long as we've got the right costumes. Durzo looks like a guard anyway.
Yeah.
If we look like high nobility in the inner circle, we sneak in.
Yeah. So, what do I need to disguise myself and her?
If we're sneaking
A
in the
robe
tunnel,
would
it's
be
just high
good.
nobility.
Of?
The robes. Yeah, you probably would have to get them somehow. A couple of robes.
Markets.
And then I might let you, again, make a stealth or similar.
Difficulty of what?
Difficulty 2.
If I can use my talent to help others disguise themselves.
Let's see. Okay, we have 1. All right. So you think you rustled something up, but you're not 100% convinced yourself. It probably would pass muster in the dark.
Okay.
Yeah, which basically sets the difficulty of seeing through the disguise.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to, as I said, spend too much time on this because there's potentially a nice little scene that we still can get to today. So you sort of dress up, you make your plan, your brilliant plan, 2 people to carry a book, 1 person to supervise the whole thing, and 2 people to guard the people supervising. And then you sneak through through this tunnel, and you come out at the far end. This is all very uneventful, really, but are you taking light sources with you into the town at least, or not?
Religious light sources.
Yeah. Lanterns. They just carry lanterns. It's not like a holy light shimmering over their heads or something. We're not in
Does
D&D.
the ring not have some sort of street illumination?
There might be some, but most people would carry something unless they were trying to hide.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, basically.
In this case, we bring some.
Right, so you follow through this really narrow passageway through this hedge essentially, and it ends up at a trellis, and the trellis has got some flowers growing on it, but you can actually move it quite easily to the side and step through, and you step out into the inner ring of the city. And it is gorgeous. It's clean, well kept, some really, really impressive buildings around, and you can just tell this is the rich part of town. There's nothing out of place here. There are people moving around, there's a lot of laughter coming from here and from there. There seem to be a party somewhere. You can hear some singing, some music being played. Did anybody ask for Baruch's address?
I just assumed it would have come with the book. Let me give you a fortune point for there being an address on the book.
That's fine. So thank you for the fortune point. And the book trader sort of wrote a little message. Didn't ask about that. That's why I was doing that. So, and eventually you find your way through the town. There are a couple of guards moving around, patrols moving around, but they just glance at you. And they seem to just assume you belong there. Yeah?
Perfect.
And then you move through and you come to this place which you think must be Baruch's house. Right. From the description. It's a relatively simple 2-story house, not as rich as the ones on either side, but quite large as far as you're concerned. Not as big as Antaeus' mansion. And there's a door. some lights on inside.
Is there a window we could peer in first?
There are some windows. They're a bit higher, but you can see where they can sneak on and listen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If that's what you want to do.
Yeah. I just want to see if we hear him talking to someone.
Okay, just do me another. What shall we call it? Observation.
Observation would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Ooh, communication. Now you hear some people talking in there, and the languages seem to be Stygian and Shemitish, a mix thereof. Definitely people moving about in the rooms. You can see that from the way that some light comes out of the window as well, like shadows being cast.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do I do with your complication? As you are sort of craning your neck towards the window and listening there, a patrol comes around the side. Some guards come around the side and say, look at you a bit skeptically, and the other four of you huddled slightly further down the road. And at this point, they're taking a closer interest.
If I see them approaching me, I will head to the door as if I'm going to knock on the door.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to roll an observation for these guys to see what they make of you. So I was not going to do that, but with that I will. So normal guard, guard sergeant, and what shall we use? Senses. Failure. So they look at you and you hastily make to the door. Do you knock on it?
I'll make sure I'm going slowly to the door just to see if they see I'm going to the door and then walk past.
No, they're keeping an eye on you.
Yeah, I will. If they're close enough to hear me knock, I'll have to knock loud. If they're far enough away,
no, they're quite close. They're quite close.
Are you gonna feint and knock? Maybe just like pretend to knock, but not actually touch the door.
You knock on the door. You knock on the door, and then they turn on they nod at you and then move further on.
While all this is happening, can I ask Mortaz to just do one of those kind of awareness of the jewel tests again to see if I have this sneaking suspicion that it may be closer than we think.
Before. Closer than before.
Yeah, closer than before.
Well, we are in the inner circle, which is said.
You would agree. You feel like it is quite close now.
He already has it.
Or it's still nearby, but not here.
It feels closer than before, definitely.
Why would he have it?
Well, we're in the inner circle. It just feels closer than we're closer to it.
I mean, we already established that Baruch was the one that, did all the shenanigans with the fake amulets and trying to get them from Antaeus and stuff.
But Antaeus trusted him, though, didn't he?
Yeah, and it feels reasonable to me that he would be a person to make sure that the amulet gets to him, because he does not know of us and our mission to safeguard it or whatever. So either he is with the bad guys, trying to complete this evil plot, or he is one of the good guys trying to prevent it, but either way, he needs to get hold of the amulet.
What happened?
Just one quick correction. The initial imitation of it, duplicate, was actually made for Antaeus.
Yes.
Yeah, but to send to Baruch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Baruch was just a fellow researcher. I don't think he made a copy.
Yeah. And
but the copy
or he was sending one to Book to hide the fact that he had. So the bad guys thought one was being sent elsewhere.
Didn't we make an imitation one too?
Yes, you made a relatively simple imitation.
I think
It was
that's the
an
one we
imitation, but
kept
not
by.
as good as the one that you've been given.
No. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Because you currently have a decent imitation.
Yes, exactly. No, that's what okay, good.
Yeah, there's lots of these. It's getting very
There's a lot
confusing.
of
Yes,
these.
very confusing. So, as soon as you knock on the door, knock, 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 the voices stop inside. And then a little later, the door opens a crack and you see
hold on, one second. Yeah.
Can you still hear me? Is my microphone funny?
Your
It's
microphone is
flashing.
How about now? Can you hear me? I can't hear you now, so I need to F5 this. Now, you should be able to hear me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Now, the microphone has been much more stable since I plugged it into a different port, but that was the first time it failed since. Where was I? So, the voices stop, and then the door opens. And in front of you, you see a slightly unshaven-looking Shemite in a very nice silken blue robe. But yeah, which is actually slightly too small for him. And he looks at you and says, yes, what do you want?
Is it me there, or is everyone there?
It's you at the door, the others are hanging back a little bit.
Okay. I seek book, I say in Argosian.
He looks at you slightly puzzled.
Book?
He says, he's not here.
Where is he?
Don't know, he's out. I think.
Is this not his house?
Yes.
So, is he not returning?
Do me a quick insight test.
Does
I'll
this
give it
guy
to my
look
foot
like
in the
he
door.
belongs here in the inner ring?
So I said it again, Julian?
Does this guy look like he belongs in the inner ring, or does he look like a thief that put on a rope to open a door?
It could
He's
be
also
either.
disguised.
He looks a bit scruffy, but hey, rich people are sometimes scruffy. Some of them cultivate this. Krios, you notice that this guy is more nervous than he should be in his own house.
Okay,
And
I'm
then he
going
says,
to...
well, I don't know. He's out, but you're welcome to wait inside if you want to.
Yes. And I'll summon my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get ready to draw a weapon in case he tries something on.
So,
You sort of enter a passageway which goes towards a set of stairs at the end. And from the layout, just scanning through it, on the right there's a sort of storage place and maybe kitchen by the smells of it. So you're probably on the servants' floor, and up the stairs will be the proper floor. And he says,
And the
just
talking, was that coming from upstairs? And I heard
mainly
it.
from upstairs. Yeah, that's where you heard it from.
Okay. Lead forward.
Yeah, and he closes the door
behind.
behind you and said, let me lead the way. So you've come to visit Baruch, and he speaks a bit louder than you think he needs to.
Yes, we have a gift for him.
Mm.
And I kind of hand the book.
And you show the book. Okay. He doesn't seem to take a big interest. But we have got some quite observant people here. So, Durzo, you're sort of looking over to the right where this gateway is to one of the storage areas, and you notice that a lot of the boxes there have been cracked open and things have been scattered over the floor.
From where I saw Krios listen to the window, do I have a feeling which room is the one the voices are in?
Above you. Pretty much
But
straight above
not-
you.
They're above me, but I can't, I assume there's a staircase of some sort?
There is. I mean, I can try and put you on the... I made a map for this. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
But I made one. Let me
Basically,
just see.
what I'm trying to do is I would like to shortcut this, storm up, and barge into the room the voices came from.
that's what I'm thinking.
Right. No, I can't do that. Hang on.
Of course, there's
Let me
this
put some
robbery going
tokens on for you. It would be quite funny if these were the people you were following into the tunnel, right?
Yes, it would. It would be hilarious.
what a coincidence!
Draw a knife on this person.
Right. So hopefully you can see something now.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I need to get this Shemite. He's going to be called a soldier, but he's not a soldier. So, yeah. I'll just, will I release this down here? No, and let's leave it as it is. As you said, here on the right, you had this gateway. I'll just move you slightly further so you can scan it a bit further. You had this gateway with a few smashed boxes and so on. And straight on, you can see that the hallway is moving onwards, and you can see a stairway at the end of it. So what do you want to do? There's one to storm forward.
Guy to the side and storm up.
So you shove him over. He was not expecting that, so that's fine. You can just zoom up. And you run up the stairs, you say, yeah?
Yeah.
Don't go too far.
I'll try to locate the room the other guys are in.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go up. I'm going up as well.
And I want to try to trip up this guy then who's in front of me.
Trip up? Or do you want to do
so
anything
so
more
he doesn't
untoward?
get chased.
Just trip up. You don't want to knock him out or...
Well, I said knock him to the ground and then I want to jump on top of him. But
okay, you can do that. That's fine. Mortas, what do you want to do?
I guess I'll follow up the staircase.
You also run upstairs.
Yeah.
Right, now I appreciate that I put the stairs in the wrong place upstairs, but bear with me here. It was a quick nap. So you come up into this small room, which is you hear and see some people move around in this room next to you. And this is going to take a moment to actually have all the people. You see a guy standing there. Oh, I made the token a couple of times. Now it doesn't work again. So, yeah, you see about 5 people in the room. And you hear the sound of weapons being drawn.
Like, is this the doorway? I guess, yeah. Yeah, I'll just bring out my sword and go in there.
I can't see anything.
Not yet. Hang on a second. If you want to move through to the other room, then you'll be able to see some stuff. But I just need to have a moment here. Because I had done this already, but then I changed the map, so I have to do it again. So, how many are you? 4 of you, right?
Plus
Tura. Who's going to stay downstairs and offer to look after the guy you overwhelmed?
Okay.
If you want her to.
Mm-hmm.
Very much.
Right, yeah, that should do it. So, you storm into the room, and you see that this huge, dark-skinned guy with a big scimitar that he's just picked up from the table. They must have been talking here, drinking. There's some drinks here. Lots of stuff has been tipped over and looted, it looks like to you. And he's just making some noises, and as he snarls at you, you can see that he doesn't have a tongue. His tongue has been cut out. But his crew here around him seem to know exactly what he wants to do, and they're all moving around and squaring up and pulling their weapons out. There's this little Shemite soldier up here that you see. That's actually Mob, which is new functionality actually in the latest update. I'm very excited to try this out. The others are individuals. So the mob is 4 people, that's 4 plus 4 is 8 people in this room. And you just jump in. Going boo! But they're not unprepared. They're not surprised by you. So, Mortaz? What do you want to do?
Can I steal his lair? Hopefully, I don't want to get to a physical fight. Not yet, at least.
You're staying where you are?
Yeah.
Shira?
I'm going in with my whip.
We just had somebody donate a reroll on the chat. Thank you very much, Kunyago. But it was a GM reroll.
Oh,
not a player reroll.
Even better, right?
Use it wisely, it says. So, Shira, sorry, say that again?
yeah, I'm going in with my whip.
Step in then. Go on. Remember, this is all about zones usually. Yeah? I just want to establish where we start off.
Okay.
Trios, what do you want to do? You're still downstairs?
Well, do I have to spend a round dealing with this guy?
Tira can take that, but you have to spend a round going upstairs, basically.
Yeah, okay. So I'll be doing that. We rush upstairs.
Okay, I'll move you upstairs then. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, because you can't walk through the walls. I have to put that through there. So,
Yeah.
that basically gives us roughly the sort of positioning, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're in the hallway, you can't see everything yet. Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
intended, if you like. So, how does this work again? Normally you go first, don't you?
Yes, unless you used to.
Unless I actually use a doom, and I might actually use a doom here. So, I think our leader of the opposition steps up with his mighty scimitar and swings it towards Durzo.
I'll parry that one.
You think? So the the recent updates to the systems have actually given us lots of more functionality about applying damage and so on. Now, I haven't tried this out, I haven't experimented with it at all, but hopefully it'll work. So he'll swing at you. I hope you survive this. Let's see. Normally you don't have a problem with that, do you?
Yeah.
So I might actually also spend a doom on it to make it a bit more meaningful. So let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, complication. But 3 successes.
Right. I'll give you a doom for the parry round.
You get free parry. Yeah.
But
You
but extra dice.
Okay.
Okay.
But you still make it.
Yes, so you have the reaction, but that was it. Okay, so that one comes through. That means his damage still comes through, and he's going to use his big battle axe on. Scimitar. It says battle axe, but imagine it's a scimitar. So let's see, 7 damage on the head.
All right.
So
how
Plus it's vicious. So that's 10 damage.
Yeah.
Plus it's intense.
So those are, I think, 3 soak for the shield.
Yeah.
Do I add any effect when I just use it as a soak?
No, I
what
don't
did your
think so.
shield have?
It's just soak.
Yeah.
And then you still
So
have your
basically, I
helmet.
have 5 soak.
5?
And you did
10 damage, so 5
10
damage.
Which is still a wound, isn't it?
And
Yeah, it
2
is.
wounds. Intense.
And intense makes it 2 wounds.
That's right.
so 9.
So with a huge shout,
Where are my wounds? There.
he's actually knocking you.
Wow, that's a big blow, that is.
He's actually smashing you to the side. Your shield sort of, you put it up in front of you, but this mighty blade sort of moves it to the side and opens you up, and he actually manages to hit you.
This is your first real challenge, isn't it?
It is. I think it's also the first time I took damage at all.
Only got 2 injuries.
I know that with you I have to go in heavy. So, and now it's up to you who you want to act.
I'll go next to clear room. I'd like to move here.
Sorry, can't see. Oh, there. Yeah, okay.
Okay, and then I'm
This
going
room
to
is
grab.
essentially one zone. So,
Yeah, and then I want to get the guy who's just southeast of me, and I'm going to whip him.
this guy.
Yeah, I'm
You
going
have
to
a range of 2, don't you? With the whip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can my wounds healed up from last?
From last time, they would have cleared up. Ooh, nice.
Very nice.
Now he can actually parry for Doom, so he will try to do that.
That's 4 successes. Yeah.
Which is, what is that? Combat, isn't it? So he takes 1 success. Still got 3 successes.
Okay.
So
I roll
damage.
damage.
Which in the attack is now, you may have seen as an extra icon. Oh, that looks pretty sweet.
Oh,
So you still have your effects you can actually use. So fearsome.
Fearsome.
I know fearsome is like you do mental damage as well.
Yeah,
mental
think
damage.
I'll-
2
I'll
for
do-
each physical damage.
I'll do fearsome.
And grappling, I think the other person can't make any moves unless they break free. Or you let them free.
Unable to move. Yeah, that's right. They can
But
fight
I-
against it with athletics.
Each mental damage to the effect.
I'd still like to do fearsome instead of grappling.
You
but
could
I
do
can-
both, but you
Yeah,
can
that's
double up
right.
on the fearsome if you spend your effects
Okay,
on it.
so I will.
So that's 8 physical damage minus armor. Okay. So that's a wound on him. And then you've got... What is that then? 4.
Or
Mental.
mental damage.
Okay, yes, he's shaken. He's definitely shaken.
Okay.
6. He's got a wound. And yeah, you slam this whip into him, and you can see the fear rise in his eyes, widen out as he whimpers a little bit, being hit. Right, so that's you done. Who wants to go next? There's Krios Mortis.
I'll go next. Oh,
To catch up.
yeah. I'll walk into the room and threaten the guy that got whipped.
Can you not block the door there? That's the only thing. Because I want to shoot through the door.
Remember, this
No,
is zone combat. I'm not really counting fields and so on.
Yeah.
But you're roughly, you're now standing next to the other guy behind you, yeah? You know that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll threaten the same person.
And then you want to
kinda-
intimidate him? Or what do you want to do?
yeah.
So you're using your
Illegal.
mental attack. Okay.
I think you can roll discipline, yeah, if you want to parry. That's the essential parry for it.
Yeah, I can try. Cosmic Doom. Discipline is willpower, isn't it? Fortitude, that's what it is. You're not as scary as the whip.
Yeah, no?
The whip is definitely scarier. But you're whittling down my doom, so that's good.
Okay.
All right.
Which one did Shiva's hit with a whip? The bodyguard or the other guy?
This one.
This guy
That
here
one.
at the back.
Yeah.
This one's the one that was messing up Durzo.
Yes. Something you've never seen before, that somebody can
No.
mess up Derzo. It's quite scary. And I didn't even use that reroll.
Oh, I'm going to shoot that bodyguard that's near to me.
Okay.
I'm assuming I'm in a different zone because I'm in a different room.
You're in a different zone, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise I'll suffer. So he's therefore one zone away.
Yeah,
My
he's
weapon's
one zone
long
away.
range, but because of my ability, I can discount one range
Mm-hmm.
penalty,
Yeah.
which hopefully should zero it out because I'm in an adjacent zone. So I'm going to shoot that bodyguard.
This one, right?
No momentum.
No, bodyguard, not the guard. The big guy.
The
Big
big
guy.
Oh,
The
that,
cloaky
the
guy.
one who's marked as bodyguard, is he the big guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Where's Durzo then? I can't see Durzo.
Derzo is behind the door.
Durzo's
It's
in
just
the
behind the
Oh,
door.
okay, sorry, I understand.
If I
Okay,
move you
yeah, I'm gonna
slightly,
shoot
you
the
can
big
see
guy.
him.
Yeah.
Now you can see him, right?
Yeah, I'm going to shoot a big guy. I'm going to give him a big hit.
That's not bad.
I've got that.
5 successes. I mean, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
He's gonna
I
dodge.
need to give him some momentum to Durzo.
I mean, there's no 10 success.
I'm going to spend a doom to let him try and do something here.
Okay.
Let's
You
see.
do that multiple times around.
I think so. I might have to spend more than one doom though. There's only one
I think-
success that goes away.
Okay, so 4 successes. Let me roll damage.
It's still
3
plenty.
momentum.
Ooh, that's
It's only 10. I mean, I think
Reroll
we have
one
to
if you
reroll that.
Nice.
Now the piercing
That's
takes
nice.
some armor away,
Nice.
doesn't it?
Hmm?
piercing takes some armor away, right?
Yeah,
You
no
don't have any
effects.
effects.
I've got no
Okay.
effects. So
No. Now let me see whether this actually works. I right-click on your chat card. That should allow me to apply the damage, but it doesn't.
12 damage.
Can I do it from here? Apply damage. So he has armor. I'm taking this really slow now because I want to know exactly what it's doing. So he's got 3 armor. That means 9 should come through, right? Which is 2 wounds.
yes.
Yes.
So if I apply damage...
Okay.
Oh, I have to
Right, I'm going to be
actually
2 wounds.
put this in. Location, left leg, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a bit tedious. And it's 9, 10, 11, 12. Will it allow me to do this? Damage applied. Now. Yes, it took the armor off, so that worked nicely. As it should have. This was a really good shot. You hit him in the leg, and it's a deep wound that starts to actually...
It's my best shot today.
Has
Yeah.
he gone down on one leg?
No, he's hampered by it. He's staggered a little bit, but he's still standing.
So can I use 2 momentum to shoot again?
You can. If you bank your
nice.
momentum first, because you currently don't have any.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you use it straight from there, that's fine as well.
Let me bank it, and then I'll use 2 momentum
Yeah. For the second attack.
for the second attack. And the second attack is 1 more difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Need an extra success. Okay, here we go then.
You should have 3 momentum because the 1 counter.
I'll use one of those momentum for the attack as well.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty good again. That's pretty good again.
Momentum
I'm
back
gonna
on the
try.
front.
So I'm going to take some Doom again, but I'm going to try to reduce it a little bit. Maybe it might help. You guys are just so... I just thought, finally, Durzo, I actually have Durzo here under control.
And there's
Durzo
on his
who?
knees and not.
Durzo who?
And what do you do with
All
it?
about Prius.
I'm going to
I
actually...
don't
going
normally
to,
roll this well on damage.
and I have a reroll, which I might want to use.
Oh, that's
So-
very good.
His was only 1 success. I'm going to reroll.
Oh, this shot wasn't
With the
so
GM
good.
reroll, I'm going to reroll these. Ah, didn't help. Right, so you still have...
Are you
I'm going to use
rerolling
one of my momentum to
damage?
reroll all
the
reroll
damage?
the-
Have
Yes.
any.
Yeah.
Well, all the damage. Was 3 damage not enough for you?
No. I'll use 1 momentum to reroll them. Okay. That's
I
it.
think when,
You're mean.
when I'm fairly certain you can re-roll another one because of a talent you
Because of my
have.
ability. Yeah, I've,
Yeah.
I've got 1 reroll I can do it. Oh, it says I can only do 1 reroll per
It has to
Yeah,
be
you
all
have
at
to
the same
do it
time.
Okay.
manually otherwise.
Okay. So that's another 8 damage with piercing 1.
So, yes. So it's 5 minus 1 is... yeah. Okay. It's plenty.
It's enough for wound.
That's enough for another wound.
And
Has he gone
therefore,
down?
let me...
So, hang on. How much was it? It was 8 damage. He had armor 3.
Plus piercing.
You ignored
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah.
So that's armor 2. That means it's 6 damage.
Yeah.
6 damage. Takes him. Gives
Also,
him
you
a
have the option to
wound
volley.
because he hits the 0. And it gives him a wound because he's got that. So he's got 2 more wounds.
So you do have the option to volley as well. Add an extra.
Yeah, I didn't... Yeah,
If you want
volley's
to spend a lot.
okay.
He is quite
Something like
wounded,
that.
but he's not dead yet, believe it or not.
Ooh, that's the
I
first
want to let
nemesis we
Durzo
got.
finish him off.
Because he's Nemesis, he can have 5 wounds.
So
Right.
I will... That means I've got 1 momentum. No, I used bank, and then I used 1
Already banked you
momentum.
too. Don't.
Oh, someone already added a momentum.
Yeah, I was doing it manually.
Yeah, it should be 2 momentum left, I think.
Yeah, there's 2 dead left now.
And that's me done.
Oh gosh. Everybody has acted now, right?
Yeah,
there's a-
No, I haven't.
You
Durzo's
haven't?
not gone.
No, Durzo.
Yeah.
Okay. You just suffered so far.
First of all, while reading what the wound actually does, I just heard I can sacrifice armor to ignore a wound.
Yes, you can. For the
This
fight.
case-
Depends. Is it heavy armor?
Or
Uh,
40.
I don't think you can separate.
Does
I
this
can
mean
sacrifice
it
armor,
says you can sacrifice armor to ignore a wound?
Yeah.
So can I like retcon
Go
it?
back.
and just
You
sacrifice
can
it?
if you want to.
Okay, I will do that.
You can also spend a fortune to like ignore the
effect.
injuries.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
I'd
Overcome
rather
weakness,
don't
ignore
have them
effects of
instead
wounds or
just
trauma.
ignoring them.
It's better to not have it in the first place.
Yeah. Okay. In this case, yeah, I'll just.
You can sacrifice your shield, I believe, as well, right?
Yeah, but I think I
Yeah.
keep the shield.
I
Yeah,
want the
I'll
shield to
spend
break apart.
momentum for some extra dice and yeah, whack the big scary guy.
Nice.
Okay, with that roll, how can you still get so many
Wait,
successes?
I know.
What kind of armor do you have? Heavy armor, medium? What kind of armor do
Target
you have?
number 17. All right. He doesn't parry, I guess.
He won't be able to parry
Teresa,
that,
do you have
I'm
medium
afraid.
armor or do you have heavy?
You can give a doom.
I mean, it would be 3 doom at this point because I think it's at once doom every time you
Yes.
do it per turn.
Indeed. But before Doom by now, and he only has 3. So
Wait,
I
Teresa,
can't...
you don't
Alright,
have
in this
heavy
case,
armor, right?
Damage roll. No, sorry.
That's not
wrong
damage. You
That's
should
the
be
one.
able to... Yeah, you found
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I just
There you go. There you go.
I'll
Spend the
reroll.
momentum, yeah.
This is a Würfel fest. Yeah, it's just damage fest. Doesn't make a
Okay.
difference. So 6. Now
So,
you have
um,
intense and vicious on it.
That's 10 damage. Then.
Let me check something real quick here because it's been some time.
It has been. It's been weeks.
Months.
Okay.
8, 9,
I
10.
spent
It's because I was on
Momentum?
holiday so long.
to use my blood on steel talent. Basically,
Go on.
my weapon has wishes too,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
which
nice.
makes this 1, 2, 3, 4,
12, 13, 14 damage.
8, 14.
14.
If I'm not
Yeah.
Yeah,
14 damage.
counting wrong.
that isn't that. Yeah. But wait, Teresa, what kind of armor are you wearing right now?
It's brigantine.
Is that medium?
I think it's
a
medium.
very good question. First,
I think it's medium.
Light
It's medium.
armor, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because it doesn't like to get hit. It likes to hit things.
Yeah.
So 14 damage or something, you said, yeah?
Yeah.
And intense.
And intense. So how many wounds will that be? Now he's got 3 armor, so 11 goes through. That's 2 wounds plus another 2 wounds, for another 4 wounds. Basically, your Kopesh, you just basically take it back right to the back here, and then you ram it into his chest, and he just falls in front of you. Falls down essentially in front of you on the floor. And I think that will pretty much, yeah, not just disable him, but I'll make a quick roll. I know that these guys here are unlikely to remain, but the guards might. So I'm just going to do a quick willpower roll for each of them. And 2 success. No, he basically gives up. How do I give up? I put him on fire. He's not actually burning. His pants are on fire. Then this guy.
His will to fight is burning up, though.
Yes, it's burned. So is this guy. You just killed their leader. I mean, no, I think you convinced them that it's a bad idea. And the people you can't see. That's the last guy. I think you probably have this. I mean, what do I have to do to actually get you in a fight?
Nemesis.
Honestly,
Adam close, though.
3 of those guys in there, and we are in for some hurt.
I need more. This guy, in theory, would still fight, but I don't see a point in one person fighting 5. So essentially,
Before my turn is over,
your
I
turn
would,
is over.
no, I can spend 2 momentum to make another attack. I also have my free action to make a move.
Everyone's giving up.
And what do you
Who
want to
is
do with
this?
that?
Scare one more guard off.
I will move over to the mob and have a hack at them.
Mm-hmm. 4 people.
Oh, he'll kill all 4.
That's
And you need it for a second attack, you need difficulty 2, don't you?
Yes.
you're right. Yeah.
well, in this case, this doesn't hit.
Oh, in
That's
that
a
case,
first.
in that case, I'm going to have the people who haven't given up yet actually fight a little bit more. See whether I can get my revenge. So these guys, I'm just moving over here because they've given up. They're basically scarpering.
Yeah.
Some of them down the stairs, some out the window. But this guy here is attacking you. So, I have to have a go now. I have to have a go. At least a little bit. He's got a spear. All right, fair enough. So, normal attack on you. Oh, look at that.
Not bad.
Right, I'll parry that one.
Thank you for the doom.
You had 1 success. 2 successes.
2 successes.
I spent momentum for another dice.
I got the free one, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, it
Right.
actually
Ooh, still gets through.
Yeah.
This is what's gonna kill Durzo, not the big bad. The small mob.
The sergeant. Yes. I'm just going to roll the damage. That was the wrong thing I clicked on. That's the one I want. Get it on with his spear.
Alright.
Or with
Using my
piercing.
shield.
And he's got piercing.
That's 3 piercing. Yeah. Oh, but that's a lot.
So,
Oh wait, you didn't parry though, Durzo.
No, that's the soak from my shield.
that's
Oh,
interesting.
okay.
I'll add it regardless. That's the way I understand it.
Yeah,
The parry is to see if it hits me, and then the
Yeah.
shield basically
gives you soak.
additional armor.
So that would be 5 soak, but he's got piercing 3,
So
so
that's 0.
2 soak. 2 come
Because
through.
what is coming through?
2 damage, right? He's got piercing
Yeah,
times
but I
1.
have. Where does he hit me? Right arm. I still have 2 armor on there.
All right, in that case, it
So
doesn't get through. And then actually, they should be attacking together. Let's see whether I can make that happen. Whether this will work. There should be 4 dice now. Let's see whether that works. I only see 1 die. Oh, there are the others. 5 dice.
Oh.
Should be 4, I thought. But yeah, that's pretty good.
Which one do we cancel out?
The 20. Always the last one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll parry that one as well. And yeah, I'll give you a fortune.
Oh,
last one?
fortune.
Yeah. Those are
Oh.
3 successes.
3
Which means it
successes.
goes to me.
That's enough.
You managed to avoid it.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay. I just thought
And
I
in
had
this
a go.
case,
You'd have to go.
the riposte talent.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Add 1 to Doom and make a melee attack.
Right. I need to work out something I need to do to make this sort of more challenging to you guys. I thought I had a good opener, and then Krios comes along and peppers him with arrows.
Yeah, that was a good roll for once for me.
That was a good roll.
Yeah, not normally that good.
Are you attacking? Who are you attacking, by the way?
How does he get an attack again?
No,
That's
I
riposte.
have
So
a
it was
riposte.
the
Basically, when
Oh,
I
this is the
successfully
riposte.
parry, I
Yeah,
can make a
yeah,
counter
yeah,
attack.
yeah.
yeah.
But it is on the mob.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I thought you had to parry. Oh, you did parry. Yeah.
So 7,
5.
12.
I have another momentum. So Vicious 2 for 17? I think.
And an extra 5, 12. Oh, yeah, you're right, 17 damage, yeah.
17.
So will that work? Let's see. 17.
Yeah.
That's.
It killed 2 of them because they have some armor. So let me just think this through. So 2 to 17. 7 for the first, 7 for the second. Yeah, that works. So 2 of them go down. That actually worked nicely. That applied damage. But yeah, to be honest, I think the rest will give up. Or Scarpa, if you let them. Because I don't see much point in just keeping rolling.
No. Yeah.
When there's so few opponents left.
Yeah.
So,
Fair.
do you let them run?
Yeah.
Shouldn't we
That's
interrogate?
a question. There's a deal.
We need to
We're
question
not.
one, don't we?
This isn't the room where we heard the talking, is it?
It is.
It is,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It is. So
We
what do you
will
do with
capture
that
one.
information?
Well, we should
Maybe-
interrogate one.
Yeah, we should capture one.
Okay, you capture.
Like interrogate the one downstairs and at least one of the ones upstairs.
Well,
True.
Mm-hmm. As long as we get one to capture this.
You capture one,
Yeah.
that's fine. And the others all disappear. Let me just get rid of them. So you are in this place. It's been looted. Now it's blood splattered as well. People are dying, dead on the floor. Some people are quite wounded. Some people are not. Some people didn't see any action. So what do you want to do here now? And then we're going to wrap this up for today.
I will look, like most of them wore armor, right?
Most of them were armor, yes.
Yeah, then I will look for a suitable replacement for the one I sacrificed.
What did you sacrifice?
The helmet,
I
right?
think it was a hat hit, yeah? So the helmet.
Helmet. Okay.
I had 2 across the board, so
Yeah, that's fine. You find a helmet.
perfect.
A suitable helmet. It's a bit smelly.
That's okay.
Of
Mine was too.
unwashed hair, you know. They're used to
Stained
it.
with blood.
So you now look around a little bit. You have a time
Yeah.
to look around, and you see basically that you can move around as well if you like, or I can just
Mhm.
remove the token vision.
I'd like to go through this door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's-
feel free to move around, but I think I'm just going to take the token vision off. So
Yeah.
you should be able to see everything now.
Oh, there's no door there.
There's a walkway.
Walk out the window instead.
Can you see everything now?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see everything. Yeah.
So basically, you move around and you find various things, but especially in the study at the back there's some stuff that might be of interest. So that's probably some place Mortas would go to. You see that there's papers scattered around, and there seem to be notes and maps and so on. That could be of interest to you.
Okay. Well, we'll have a look through everything and see if there's any information there. Any information on what's happened to Book.
You don't see anything really, but actually, Mortas, you see that there's a letter, but that was sealed but was cracked open afterwards, lying on the floor.
Okay.
You pick it up, and it says on the front, it says Yarosh.
Plot thickens.
Is that it? Just no more to
On the front, it just says Yarosh.
Okay.
Oh,
So you,
Okay, on.
you unfold it, and that big, fat glob of wax that sealed it was broken before, and maybe by these goons you just ousted from this place. And it just says, gone to the coastal estate. Bring the item at once when you read this. In Shemitish.
We've checked around to see if there's the item.
You checked around, actually. Good point, that man. You check around, and the big goon, yeah, the guy who was peppered with all those arrows and then stabbed through the heart, has it in a belt pouch. He has it.
Hey, we got it back.
Really close. I thought so.
It was really close. Sorry, I completely forgotten about that because there's so many different bits of information I want to pass on now. As I said, there's also the maps lying about, if you want to have a look at that. Overall, this place has got surprisingly few books and scrolls and so on for Scholar's Home. You reckon that we may
Maybe
have
it's
moved the
both
stuff?
Does it look as if there are bookshelves that are emptied?
Yes, there are some bookshelves that are empty.
Hmm.
Yeah, the dishes, curios, sculptures, lamps, all that sort of stuff is here. And stuffed into some satchels that are lying in the dining room, essentially. Like all the loose bits that look vaguely valuable have been rounded up into sacks and satchels.
We take those.
They're heavy, large, bulky.
Okay.
Well, we still have to get out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could see that some of these people definitely had thrown on some fine clothes with their armor, over their armor, under their armor, that probably didn't belong to them in the first place.
So Baruch is in league with Yarosh, yeah?
And it appears that way.
And was planning to meet him out in this, what did you say? Did you say country estate?
Coastal.
Coastal estate, sorry.
Yeah.
Country, coastal? Or not
Coastal.
Coastal. Yeah.
The coastal country estate. I mean, both is true.
And is probably there at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yarosh has left the eye with this big bodyguard guy? Or was he Yarosh? He wasn't, was he?
That wasn't Yarosh. No. That wasn't Acheron as you knew him. No, you would have recognized that. This guy was huge and had no tongue. I mean...
so he's handed it over and said, probably take it to the estate. Yeah.
Unless this person took it from Acheron.
I don't think like he's. Maybe we should search the house and find the corpse of Yarosh somewhere, stashed in a cupboard or something.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
we will do that next time. Searching the house, I mean. That was not precluding the fate of Yarosh. But basically, just one last thing on the maps, and then, because nobody seems to be picking up that I've been telling you about the maps. So, and then we've basically finished the first floor. So on the desk are several maps. If you look through them, there's various ones of the coast of Shem. And one in particular seems to be a map to leading to an island very, very far off the south of Shem, past even the nameless isle. There are some annotations that seem to be in code, you reckon. But I know Mortis can give me a difficulty 4 linguistics test.
A difficulty 4.
Excuse me.
fortune.
There's one momentum. Use your fortune.
Yeah, oh yeah, I do have fortune. I haven't used that all this session.
Indeed. And then with
Can
that...
you use 2 at one roll?
No, you can't.
No, you cannot.
No?
Just 1 max.
We still have a momentum left, though.
Yeah.
And,
Go for it.
Actually, we should have.
Momentum, fortune, everything.
You still have a momentum left, yes.
2, actually.
2?
I forgot to bank mine.
Okay, true. You can use those. And I have lots of dice. Let's see whether you get the clue. To
Guaranteed.
finish off. Because somebody's getting their supper now.
Oh wait, oh, hold up, I forgot to change the difficulty for that. Give me that.
Difficulty 4?
4.
Yeah, difficulty 4.
Yeah. As I called it in the game. Ooh,
Oh,
it's 7. There's a complication. 7 successes. I know you roll well. There you go. And you see that the following annotation. Ba-da-dum. Supposed final resting place of Toth-Mekri, Prince of Stygia. And with that realization that you have come across his name before, we bring the curtain down for today. Because we've been running a bit longer than
The
anticipated.
complication here.
The complication,
What?
I'll think about something for next time.
We
hopefully.
cranked it up. We started slow, rusty, and
Yeah.
Oh,
finished with a
you
bang.
are really meat mincer, I think. Yeah, Derzo. I need to find a way of disabling you something, poisoning you or something.
You need a dynamic ghost that you couldn't hit.
Yeah, maybe he's completely drunk, or maybe something that is remote. You know, ranged attacks that he can't counter. He can't get to them.
Well, no, he can counter with a shield.
Yeah, but
There's the shield.
he can't riposte a ranged attack.
You
So,
could,
I'll come up with something for that. But in the meantime, I hope you got back into it, and it was not just following the railway too much, because it's a bit railroady. We'll organize another date, probably via Discord, or maybe we can just chat about it and then let Douglas know because he needs to go and have dinner.
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you very much for playing, and I'll go
Thank
out of
you,
the stream.
everybody.
Fun.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
have a good one.